The truth behind the Holy Grail's legend. The lost cup or the eternal quest? What if the Holy Grail was never a cup at all? For centuries, kings, knights, and seekers have chased this elusive relic, believing it holds the power to grant eternal life, divine wisdom, or even the keys to heaven itself. Legends tell of Arthur's knights embarking on perilous quests, of secretive Templar orders guarding it, and of ancient bloodlines tracing their heritage to its sacred origin. But what if they were all chasing a symbol, rather than an object? Could it be that the Grail was never meant to be found, because it was never lost? The truth, hidden beneath layers of myth and manipulation, whispers something far more profound. It speaks of an inner journey, a transformation of the soul, and a secret so powerful that only the worthy can uncover it. Tonight, we unravel the mystery of the Holy Grail, not as a relic of the past, but as a map to awakening a hidden power within. Are you ready to see beyond the legend? The origin of the Grail legend, a cup, a cauldron, or something more. The story of the Holy Grail is a tapestry woven from countless threads, Celtic myth, Christian tradition, and medieval romance. But where does the thread truly begin? Long before it became the sacred chalice of Christ, the Grail existed in older tales. The Celts spoke of a cauldron of plenty, a magical vessel that could grant endless nourishment, restore the dead to life, or bestow profound wisdom. This cauldron wasn't a mere object, it was a symbol of divine power and transformation. The Druids guarded its secrets, teaching that only those who embarked on an inner journey could access its true gifts. When Christianity spread through Europe, these pagan myths blended with the story of the Last Supper, where Christ shared wine from a cup, declaring it his blood, a symbol of the eternal covenant. Later, the Grail became tied to Joseph of Arimathea, who, according to legend, used the cup to catch Christ's blood at the crucifixion. He was said to carry it to Britain, where it was hidden, waiting for the pure of heart to find it. But why did this story endure? Why did it ignite the imagination of entire civilizations? Perhaps the Grail wasn't remembered because of what it was, but because of what it represents, a quest for something beyond human limits. It became more than an object. It became an idea. And ideas are immortal. The Knight's Quest, a journey of the soul. The Grail stories of Arthurian legend are filled with brave knights, Gawain, Percival, Galahad, each seeking the sacred cup. But their quests weren't simply about finding a physical object. The deeper truth is hidden within the very structure of these tales. The outer journey mirrors an inner transformation. Each knight faces not just monsters and temptations but profound moral and spiritual trials. Percival, for instance, starts as a naive, impulsive boy. He fails his first encounter with the Grail because he asks the wrong question, or rather, he fails to ask the right one. Only after years of hardship and self-discovery does he learn the true wisdom. The Grail is not something to take, it is something to become worthy of receiving. Galahad, the purest of the knights, succeeds where others fail. He embodies faith, virtue, and selflessness, and only he is granted the ultimate vision of the Grail. But what's truly fascinating is that once he achieves this enlightenment, he leaves the world behind. He transcends, suggesting that the final prize was never meant for this world at all. The knight's trials symbolize something more than physical bravery, they represent the alchemical journey of the soul. Each challenge mirrors the stages of inner purification. The departure, leaving the familiar world behind, driven by a calling they don't fully understand. The ordeal, facing darkness, not just in the world but within themselves, pride, fear, doubt. The transformation, emerging changed, with a new understanding of what true power and purity mean. The Grail, then, becomes a mirror, reflecting back the seeker's own worthiness. It's not about finding an object, but becoming the kind of person who could find it. The real question is, what happens when you realize the Grail isn't lost, but hidden within you? The hidden meaning, the Grail as a spiritual metaphor. What if the Grail was never meant to be found, because it was never a physical object to begin with? Many esoteric traditions, from the Gnostics to the mystics of the Middle Ages, believed the Holy Grail wasn't a thing, but a state of being. It wasn't a cup filled with divine blood, but a vessel capable of holding divine light. And that vessel, they suggested, is the human soul. Think of the Grail not as an object, but as a symbol of spiritual awakening. The cup, open, receptive, and pure, mirrors the heart of a seeker. Just as a vessel must be empty to be filled, so too must the soul be emptied of ego, greed, and fear to receive higher wisdom. This interpretation ties to the ancient Hermetic teaching, as within, so without. The external quest for the Grail reflects the inner journey toward enlightenment. The Grail becomes a metaphor for the union of the divine and the human, what some would call ascension, gnosis, or Christ consciousness. Even the imagery supports this. The chalice is traditionally shaped like an inverted triangle, symbolizing the descent of spirit into matter. But turn it upright, and it becomes a blade, pointing toward heaven, the rise of the human soul back to the divine. The Grail's eternal life isn't about physical immortality. It's about the death of the false self and the rebirth of the true self, the part of us that is eternal, unbreakable, and divine. This is why, in so many versions of the legend, only the pure of heart can find the Grail. Purity isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity. The Grail isn't hidden behind some distant mountain or guarded by immortal knights. It's hidden behind your own illusions, waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to look inward. But if the Grail is an inner treasure, what about the secrets of its guardians? The Templars, the Cathars, and those who claimed to protect this mystery, were they hiding a relic, or safeguarding a powerful truth? The Grail's keepers, secrets of the Templars and beyond. If the Holy Grail was never a mere cup, but a profound spiritual truth, who were its protectors, and what were they really guarding? History hints at a shadowy brotherhood that claimed to hold the Grail's secret, the Knights Templar. Officially founded in 1119 AD, they were tasked with protecting Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. But rumors swirled that their true mission was far more mysterious, that they uncovered ancient, forbidden knowledge beneath the ruins of Solomon's temple. Some say they found the Grail itself. Others believe they discovered something even more powerful, the truth that the Grail was a symbol of divine awakening, hidden in plain sight. This revelation could threaten the Church's authority, because it suggested that each individual held the key to their own salvation. A direct path to the divine, without priests, without intermediaries. The Templars amassed wealth and influence beyond imagination, but in 1307, they were destroyed by King Philip IV of France, accused of heresy, blasphemy, and devil worship. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burned alive, but not before cursing the king and the Pope, both of whom died within a year. Did they die to protect the Grail's physical location? Or did they die protecting the truth, that the Grail was never something to possess, but a secret meant to be lived? The Templars weren't the only guardians. The Cathars, a mystical sect in medieval France, also spoke of a hidden cup of light, a sacred vessel representing the soul's liberation from the material world. They too were eradicated by the Church in the Albigensian Crusade. Before their final stronghold at Montségur fell in 1244, it said a small group of Cathars escaped with their greatest treasure. Was it a relic? Or was it the last surviving truth of the Grail's meaning, that enlightenment is not given, but earned through inner transformation? The pattern repeats throughout history: those who uncover this wisdom are persecuted, their knowledge buried. And yet, the legend of the Grail never dies. It resurfaces, again and again, like an ancient echo calling to those who are ready to hear it. But what if the Grail's final secret is even more daring than we imagine? The final revelation, the Grail and the Divine Feminine. What if the greatest secret of the Holy Grail is not about immortality or divine power, but about balance. Some scholars and esoteric traditions whisper that the Grail's true nature is tied to the divine feminine, a force long suppressed by patriarchal systems. In this telling, the Grail is not only a cup but a womb, a sacred vessel representing creation, life, and spiritual rebirth. The chalice's very shape, wide, open, and curved, mirrors the form of the womb. It is the container of life itself, the source of all being. This idea connects to ancient goddess traditions, where the feminine was revered as the bringer of life, wisdom, and spiritual initiation. The Church, in its effort to consolidate power, reshaped these beliefs. The divine feminine was reduced to Mary, the Virgin Mother, pure, but passive. Yet older traditions spoke of Sophia, the feminine aspect of divine wisdom, and Shekinah, the radiant feminine presence of God. The Grail, some say, is a remnant of these forgotten truths, a symbol of reuniting the masculine and feminine within ourselves. This theory gained new life with the legend of Mary Magdalene. Some believe she was not merely a follower of Christ but his partner, the bearer of his bloodline, the living Grail. This is the controversial idea explored in books like the Da Vinci Code, but the roots of the story go much deeper. The San Graal, an old name for the Grail, can be broken into two phrases. San Graal, meaning Holy Grail. Sang Real, meaning royal blood. Could the Grail, then, represent not a cup, but a sacred lineage, a continuation of divine wisdom passed through human vessels? But perhaps the most powerful interpretation is not about a physical bloodline at all. Instead, it's the idea that the Grail represents the union of opposites, the sacred marriage of masculine and feminine energies within the seeker. The alchemical, great work was never just about transforming lead into gold, but about transforming the soul, merging logic with intuition, strength with compassion, the sun with the moon. The Grail, then, becomes the ultimate metaphor for wholeness, the realization that divinity has always been within us, waiting to be awakened. The final question is this: are you still searching for the Grail? Or have you begun the journey to become it? The Grail was never lost. The Holy Grail has endured for centuries, not because it's a relic waiting to be discovered, but because it's an idea waiting to be understood. The cup, the cauldron, the chalice, these are symbols, reflections of a deeper truth. The real Grail is not an object, but a quest. It's the eternal call to seek something greater than ourselves, to transcend the ordinary and touch the divine. Every version of the legend carries the same silent message: only the worthy may find the Grail. But worthiness was never about purity in the moral sense. It's about courage, the courage to face our inner shadows, to strip away illusion, to become hollow like the cup itself, empty, but ready to hold something greater. The knight's journeys were not about finding the Grail. They were about becoming transformed through the search itself. The trials, the hardships, the failures, they weren't obstacles to the Grail. They were the Grail. So ask yourself: are you chasing a treasure outside of you, or are you daring to uncover the truth within? Are you seeking power, or seeking wisdom? Are you ready to let go of who you think you are, to become what you were meant to be? The Holy Grail isn't lost. It never was. It's been waiting for you this entire time, hidden in plain sight, within your own soul. The only question left is, will you answer the call? The quest is yours now. The Holy Grail is more than a legend. It's an invitation, one that has echoed across centuries, waiting for the right ears to hear it. But the quest isn't something you watch from a distance. It's something you live. The Grail's truth isn't in ancient relics or hidden temples. It's in the choices you make every day, to seek wisdom, to pursue truth, to transform yourself. The Grail is a reminder that you are the seeker, and perhaps, you were always meant to become the treasure. So, what if the greatest secret of all is this: the moment you stop searching for the Grail and start searching within, you've already begun to find it. If this journey spoke to you, Stay with us here at the Temple of Hidden Keys, where we uncover the forgotten wisdom of the past and reveal the ancient truths that still shape our world. The next key is waiting. Will you be the one to unlock it? Subscribe, and let's continue this quest together. Subscribe and share, join us at the Temple of Hidden Keys, where ancient wisdom unlocks modern truths.